Welcome to Wisdom Journey, the podcast where we explore the path of building an online business from the ground up. Here, I share my wins, struggles, lessons, and experiments so you can learn, adapt, and grow alongside me. I also interview experts in their respective field. Whether you're just starting out or looking for new strategies to scale, this is your space to find inspiration and practical wisdom. I'm your host, Wisdom Okonkwo, and I'm excited to take you on to this journey. Today on Wisdom Journey, we're joined by Russell Van Brocklen, a dyslexia researcher whose breakthrough teaching method helps students jump 7 to 8th grade levels in writing within one school year. But what if those same principles could help you, the online creator, go from blank page dread to producing clearer hooks, sharper sales page, and faster content in just 10 minutes a day? Welcome to the podcast, Russell.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Before we get started, can you take us back to the moment you realized that words analyzed the right way could unlock potential even in the most struggling learners?
Well, it all started when I did my initial research project, which I got funded by the New York State Senate. And the reason why I focus on that is because nobody gets funded by the New York State Senate to do any sort of research. Yeah. The Republicans were very specific. They wanted the school district, one of their school districts, to come to them saying they desperately wanted this. Then they also wanted support from the New York State Education Department, the State University Research Foundation, and senior professors. So what I initially did is I took a bunch of high school juniors and seniors that were highly motivated, highly intelligent, with middle school writing skills. And then we gave them the graduate records exam analytical writing assessment. It's the test for going into grad school. They started off scoring mostly in the 0 percentile, and they ended up scoring one class period a day for the school year, about 180 sessions, average range of entering graduate students. How that was possible, and so just so everybody knows, they all went to college, they all graduated, grade point averages of 2.5 to 3.6, and it cost New York State taxpayers less than $900 a kid. So what I did is, this is the top book in my field called Overcoming Dyslexia, 2nd edition by Dr. Sally Shaywitz. This is dyslexia. So I'm showing an image of two brains. If you look at the back part of the dyslexic brain, do you see how there's virtually no neural activity?
Yeah.
Now, if you look at the back part of your brain, do you see how it has this massive neural activity?
Yeah.
Now, the front part of the dyslexic brain is about 2.5 times overactive.
Oh, yeah, I see that part.
Okay.
Yeah, the dark dot.
Okay, right. So what I did is I took that overactive front part, which Yale said deals with articulation followed by word analysis. And now I used the graduate records exam analytical writing assessment. Analytical articulation, about the same thing. That was the breakthrough. But how does this help your listeners to apply these ideas so they can come up with something much more interesting to say when they're dealing with their customers? Yeah. How can they get a much more reaction on social media? Well, that one's not going to work. So what I had to do is I had to switch it over. Instead of articulation followed by word analysis followed by articulation, and I had to reduce things down to a universal theme. So let me give you an explanation about this. Do you watch movies that often?
Yeah, I watch.
Okay. I'm talking about the reviewers from major publications who probably have an Ivy League education. Have you noticed that a lot of them, when they review movies, they literally tell you what happened, this happened, and this happened, and this happened?
Yeah.
Okay. That's horrible. It's like you recorded a sporting event and then you go down to watch it. Then somebody says, hey, here's the score. It's like, why am I watching this? Why am I going to this movie when I know what happens? So a very simple solution on how to do this is, the first thing that you have to do is to, first of all, reduce the movie to a universal theme. So let me give you, let's take a movie you really like. What's one of your favorite movies of all time that everybody knows about? That's
Shawshank
really
Redemption.
good.
Shawshank Redemption.
Okay. Shawshank Redemption. In one word, what's the universal theme of that movie? Yes, I'm making you think.
So many themes are just rushing through my head. Okay.
Right. And that's what you're looking for. Okay. Yeah. I'm just, because I know that movie so well, I've seen it literally over a dozen times. I'm going to say liberation.
Liberation? I was about saying second chance. Then innocence was rushing to my head. Injustice. And so those are some of the words that
Okay,
just popped in my head.
let's just take any one of those would work.
Okay.
So what you would do, just as a starting point for your audience, is that you would then pick a universal theme, and then say, how did the actors do with that universal theme? How did the director do with it? How did the writer do with that universal theme? And then that's the basis for you writing up your review.
Wow.
So now you're telling people what you think, but it's not like this happened and this happened and this happened, which an eighth grade child could do. Okay? Maybe not as eloquently, but they could do it. So that's the power of using a universal theme. So let's go and look at an actual example. All right. Would you like to use yourself as an example?
Okay.
Okay. So what I like to start off with is the QA to get down to why you're doing what you're doing. So basically what you're doing is you're trying to communicate as a person who has to get more effective things done on social media so you can grow your audience. So here's my question. What is it that you want to accomplish with your podcast? What's the reason for it? Yes, I'm going to make you think. So just think about it. What is the core reason that you're doing this podcast?
To give, okay, there are no wrong or right answers. To give creators and online businesses stories and playbooks to inspire and, of course, to educate them. But for me, my own personal reason why I do... Okay.
No, I would have to say you gave your sentence. You're going to look for the most important word. Okay. We're not looking for the outcome. We're looking for why you're doing this. Let's be very clear.
Okay.
The outcome... No, you already gave me the word. Okay, I'll tell you what that is in a minute. We don't go with outcomes. Everybody can do outcome. What you're looking for is your own secret sauce to differentiate yourself from the outcome. You're going to give the same outcome goal, but you're going to go about it a different way that's unique to you. All right. So when everybody's doing something that's kind of similar, you want to find something that's unique to you, that's part of you, so that you can give it that your own unique angle. Make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense.
So for you, I would say the most important word of what you said was inspiration.
Yeah.
Okay. Because have you noticed that for a lot of people that they need some inspiration to actually take action?
Yeah.
Okay. That's really critical. I'll give you an example. My older sister is in a legal business where she tries to get people to sign up for prepaid legal. Okay. The company's been around for 50 years. Okay. But she's been going to conference after conference, book after book. And I'm like, no, you've learned enough. You've been doing this for a few years. You got to get off your can and actually start taking action. Even if it's messy and you're not very good, you got to start taking action. So you want to give them the inspiration to get them off to get your audience off from sitting on the couch and taking action to get that initial push. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay, now since you gave me the answer of inspiration, I'm going to turn that into a question. We're going to go as far as we can. Why is inspiration the most important thing to you?
Okay, let's step back a bit. One of my favorite movie is Inception, and the reason why I love the movie is when I explain the movie a bit to explain why inspiration is important to me, is because all it takes to destroy man or to build a man is by planting an idea in the man's mind. And that's what inspiration is all about, right? When I started the podcast, I started the podcast not because someone told me how to do a podcast, but I just knew what was possible by listening to a story of someone, talking in passing and say, oh yeah, I started a podcast and this. And so I was like, well, so there's a thing called podcast.
But you're going off on a tangent. I'm trying to show you a process here.
Okay.
All right. So you're giving me a backstory. I don't need a backstory. I need from you why inspiration is so important to you, just in a short, brief answer. Why?
It's hard.
You're right. Okay. So have we gone as far as we're going to go?
Wait, can you rephrase that question? Can you rephrase this question?
Can you tell me why inspiration is so important to you?
Okay.
Is that as far as you can go?
Okay. It's hard.
If it is, it's fine.
Wait, no. It's hard, and people know need to know what's possible.
People need to know what is possible.
What's
Why do
possible,
people need to know what's possible?
Yeah, okay.
No,
Okay.
that's my next question. Why do people need to know what's possible?
Okay. I'll respond to that. From conversations I've had with so many persons, especially in the business and online space, one of the core things I get from them is I notice that they're not even aware that the solution they're looking for it's even available, and it occurs to me that they don't even know that the thing they want is possible, and so they don't go about chasing it. So it's not that they're not hardworking, it's not that they're not diligent, it's not that they're not smart. It's because they just don't know what's possible. Does that answer the question?
They don't know what's possible. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to ChatGPT.
Could you do me a favor, Russell? Since
yes?
for the benefit of those that will be on video, could you screen record share your screen so that way?
Nope, because okay. I'm no good at computers. I'm just going to put in I need a one-word universal theme for they didn't know what was possible. Okay. So I just went into ChatGPT and I said, I need one word that tells you what is, they didn't know it was possible. And the word it came up with was awakening. Okay. Now, I'm just going to what I just did here, just so everybody knows so that you can replicate this. Okay. And we're giving this to you kind of fast, but I would really take your time with this. So what I did is I asked him, what is it that you want to do? And he gave me a good long sentence, you remember. You can go back and re-listen to that so you can get to that part. You're going to want to do that a lot. Go back and listen to the step-by-step. Yeah. And what I found out, I said, here is the best word that he came up with. And then I asked him why, and he gave me an answer. Then I turned his answer into a question. I asked why. All right. And I said, we're not going off tangent here. We got to keep going. All right. So we kept going. Then I said, okay, now that we've gone as far as we're going to go, looks like, I said, what is the universal theme? And I just dumped it into the free version of ChatGPT, and I came up with awakening. All right. Now, you may want to take awakening, put it into the thesaurus, and look at other words and find the one that best matches what's in your head or which one just comes to you. And this is something you're probably going to spend a couple of hours on because this is your business. Yeah. Okay. I'm just going to use an example of awakening. So do you see how awakening is much closer to what you're thinking about for your business than other words that you may have been thinking of? Yeah. So again, how we got there. I had him say, what is it that you want to do? I look for the most important word. I turn that into a question. Why is that important? I'm trying to get as specific as possible. I take his answer and turn it into a question until we've gone about as far as we're going to go. Then I take what he said and I ask ChatGPT, what's a universal theme for this? Then if you want to, you should go on to thesaurus.com, put that in, and then look at all the words, look up the dictionary definition, Merriam-Webster's online dictionary, pick your definition, and find the one of two things that's best, the definition of the word that best matches what's in your head, or the one that just really seems to come to you. Okay? You're the human. You have to make this decision. This isn't an AI decision. Yeah. But let's just go forward with awakening. Okay? So now what we have here is what you want to do is you want to help your clients awaken. All right? Now, who or what, a person or a concept, is best able to prevent you from helping you show your clients how to awaken? We're essentially looking for the ultimate villain. Okay. Who or what? Is it a person or a concept that can best prevent you from doing this? Which one is it?
I'm not sure I understand that question.
Okay, so we now have your universal theme. Yeah. We're now looking for an ultimate villain. So if you look at any story in the Shawshank Redemption, like I'm just going to use any story, I'm going to use Shawshank Redemption as an example. The ultimate villain was the warden. The second ultimate villain was the head security guard. Okay, so anytime we're going to discuss anything that we're going to communicate, we want to do it in a story. There's always there's always a villain. So a villain is a person or a concept. So you want to help your clients, your listeners, awaken. All right. Is there the best person or concept that can mostly prevent you from doing that? What is it, a person or a concept?
Okay. When you say prevent me from doing that, you mean okay? Yeah, I get the question now. One of the things that's is common is the status quo, right? This is the way it has always been done, right? My dad.
So the status quo is going to keep you from actually helping your listeners awaken?
Wait, I'm not sure if I get the question. Are you saying the thing that will stop my listener from awakening, or the thing that will stop me from helping them awaken?
Yes. What is best out there to prevent you from helping you to help your clients awaken?
Okay. The status quo. This is how it has always been done.
No, I'm not talking about a static. Is it a motivational issue on your part? Is it a time constraint on your part?
Okay, you're talking about me. Oh, you're talking about me.
Yes, I'm talking about you. What is preventing you from being as successful as you want? It's a person, a physical live person, or most likely it's a concept that is preventing you from being as successful as you want to be. What's standing in your way?
So let's see. Okay, now I get the question. I fully understand the question. So we're talking about me, not
Yes.
the people I help. Okay, what's standing in my way? How do I put it now? I think I've been getting a lot of excuses for a while. Let me see if I can articulate some of those excuses. I need more.
What's the number one excuse?
I need more information. More information before I start taking action. That's one of the excuses.
More information. So you want more information before you before you go forward.
Yeah.
Okay. So to help you go forward, let me tell you what the solution is.
Okay.
I use I'm the day OpenAI came out with ChatGPT Pro. I bought it last December. All right, people are like, you're spending 10 times what everybody else is spending. I'm like, yep. And they're losing a lot of money off me. Okay. When you want more information, I get 125 deep research reports a month. Okay. If you're in a normal account, that's $20, you get 10. You want to know more information? I have it producing 25,000 word reports all the time. There's an easy prompt to do it that way. All right. If you want more information how to actually do things, you can tell it to think longer on the $20 a month report. So it's five thinking. Just tell it to think longer. Or if you move up to the $200 a month, you're doing the Pro one. It takes 5 to 25 minutes to do anything. And I have two running at the same time, one on the internet, one on the app on my laptop. Okay. You want more information, that'll get you the information you want. Okay. You tell it to write the answer as long of a narrative as possible. It's going to be about 2,000 words, which is good for most people. Yeah. All right. So now what we have here is we understand what your weakness is, what you need to work on. So now we have your first name, then we have your universal theme, which is awakening. And then what we have for the ultimate villain is I need more information. Okay. So I need you to put that into a simple sentence. Just add a few words so we turn it into a proper sentence.
Hey, quick break. Before we continue, I'd love for you to join the Wisdom Journey newsletter. Every week I share exclusive insights, tools, and behind-the-scenes updates to help you stay ahead in your own journey of building an online business. It's simple, practical, and built to help you grow. Sign up today for free at the link in the description. Now let's get back to the episode. Okay, so I should combine the three things into a sentence. Is that what you're saying?
Into a basic sentence. Your name, what you want to do.
Wisdom is going to help. How do I put that? Okay.
Wisdom wants to. I'm wisdom. I want to help my clients and audience awaken, but I'm not doing as well as I want because of lack of information. Okay, see how we did that?
Thank you.
Okay, hey, you got to remember, I teach this to dyslexics all day for 20 years. Okay, now do you see how we've dealt with who you are, what you want to do, and what your biggest obstacle is? And we put that into a sentence, okay? Now, we come up with 3 reasons. Let's just do a first reason, okay?
Okay.
Wisdom wants to help his audience awaken, but he's having issues with lack of information because, give me a good reason. And I mean a good reason.
Now that we've peeled it layer by layer, I just realized that information is not a problem. I just realized now. that
Okay.
the problem.
And this is what happens when you're going through this. This is not like school. I do A, B, C, I'm done. It is the creative process is messy. I just saw a movie literally 2 nights ago on Bruce Springsteen, okay? And how he created his songs, which were amazing, his process. And it was just a messy process. But then he came with some of the best written songs ever made. All right. So when you're looking at what the biggest villain is for you, what is it? If it's not lack of information, what is it?
I think it's fear, but I'm trying to be specific about what
Fear.
the fear is. Yeah.
No. That is perfectly fine. It's fear. Normally, when you're trying to come up with the ultimate villain, your first guess is normally correct. If you find it's offshoot, the next idea, go with it. It's fear. Okay. And so let's go and put it into a sentence. Wisdom wants to help his clients and listeners awaken, but he's not as effective because
he's
fear.
Scared. Yeah, I'm afraid.
Because he's scared. Because what's a good reason? All right, you're scared because. All right,
so it's uncertain. I'm not certain. I don't think I know what I'm doing. That's
right. And so what you do in that is the best thing that I tell people is just go out and take action. You know what you want to do now. You want to help. Your version is awakening. Okay. So what I would do, because just so people understand about social media, I'm a dyslexic researcher, but I also went through most of a master's in business administration. Why didn't I complete it? Because I wasn't going to drop $60,000 on it, and I found a way through taking cross-registered classes, I could take it essentially for free at one of the American's premier business schools.
Yeah.
All right. I took 2 classes a semester for years. I studied new venture strategy under Professor Schrager at the University of Chicago. Why? He was one of the 2 best professors in a top 5 business program. So I'm not only a researcher, I'm also a person who essentially went through most of an MBA program. So how can we apply this to social media? Well, I'm the #1 podcast guest on Podmatch, where we met. Out of 4,800 podcasters, I'm #1 for the month of September and October. Okay. And now I need to communicate this on LinkedIn so that I can get gigs that are keynote speakers. So when I looked at that, I've tried Facebook, I've tried YouTube, I've tried all of this stuff. I found by far the stickiest one by far is LinkedIn. So I publish every day a post and an article. So how do I do that? I went, and this is what I would advise you to do, Wisdom. Okay. Is I would just sit down and I would just dictate into Microsoft Word everything about how you can help your audience increase their social media presence by the universal theme of awakening. Just type it. Just dictate it out as much as you can. Then take that, save it in a few places, then put it. This is where it's worth going to ChatGPT Pro. All right. You can't really do this with 5 Thinking. You need 5 Pro. I'm sorry. It's $200 a month. You can get this done in a month. Have that turn what you had into something that is really, really refined in 5 Pro. Okay. Then I would actually take what you have there and have a deep research report done on it, asking it to add things. And I can send you the prompt that I use for that, to add things, and then go through like this 25,000 word report and keep the good stuff, dump the bad stuff until you narrow it down. You keep going back and forth with 5 Pro and deep research to knock this down to your document. Then I would take that and put it into Sonic 4.5. All right. That's from Anthropic. And I would have it rewritten, and it takes me a couple of dozen times to finally get that down. That's your master document. Now, when you have all of that down, when you're looking for what to talk about, I would then go and whatever AI you're using, I would say, what's the big thing that people are discussing today on whatever LinkedIn platform, or so whatever social media platform. And then I would find out what that is. And I'd say, what's the top 5? And then I would say, pick the one that you're interested in. And then take that document I just told you and say, I want to discuss this as a universal theme through on this topic.
Yeah.
Have five whatever, at least thinking, tell it to think longer, come up with a draft. If it's a post on LinkedIn, an essay, or something on Facebook, whatever it is, and then take that to Sonic 4.5 and refine it. You have to use both. I find that Anthropic is not good for thinking. OpenAI does great on that, but Sonic is much better for editing. Like it's just so much better. When I started getting things edited on Sonic 4.5, my impressions increased by literally 10 times.
Yeah.
Okay. Then make sure you have a strong call to action. I have a document my web guy created. There's like 1,000 things or something like that. If you want it to me, contact me. I'll send it to you. And then have a strong call to action at the bottom. And there you go. That's generally the process. And that's your own unique process. So you can see why when we just came up with Awakening, you want to go through a few more steps, go through it as best you can and come up with the best universal theme for you, because this is going to be your online identity.
Wow.
Does that make sense?
It doesn't make sense. It makes sense. It makes sense. Wow.
And people say, well, I don't know if I can do this. I routinely have 9-year-old children doing this, because this is a version of what I do to teach them to read. And if people, just to really make people gasp about how possible this is, my most successful case with reading was teaching a 10-year-old, her name was Casey, the end of 5th grade. She turned 11 over the summertime before 6th grade. She was reading at the 2nd grade level. She was phenomenally interested in Theodore Roosevelt. So I assigned her this book, The Rise of Theodore Roosevelt. 900 pages. This won the Pulitzer. This is 10th grade to first-year college level, depending on who you ask. Let's just call it 10th grade. She adapted the process I gave you a little bit, and she sat in her room for 2 to 3 hours a night, 6-7 nights a week, most of the day during the summertime. And at the end of 6 months, she could read that entire book. You could literally flip to that page, point to that word, and she would literally tell you the dictionary definition. In 6 months. I worked with her for 15 minutes a week because that's what her parents could afford. She essentially did this on her own. So if a 10-year-old can do this, you can do this. What you have to do is overcome your fear and just take action. It's going to be sloppy. It's going to be messy, but you can take action and get there. Best thing I can do, as I said, use ChatGPT as high as you can for thinking and use Sonic 4.5 for editing. Okay? And then post. Don't post right from ChatGPT. It is not good enough. It's a lot of AI slop, even though the thinking's there. Sonic's going to do, like, for example, when I do a LinkedIn post, I went back and I said, this is how I do everything. And then I even had OpenAI write PhD level articles on what I do. And then I'll pick one. I'll have it create like ideas. Like one of them came up with 15 ideas for a post. Then I said, for each post, ChatGPT 5 Pro, give me 5 variations of this. Takes 15 to 20 minutes for that.
Yeah.
Then I'll say, when it's done, tell me which one you like and the reason why. Give me a paragraph. I usually go what it recommends, but sometimes I don't. I'll pick number 2 or number 3 or whatever. Then I'll take that, put it into Sonic 4.5 from Apogee, and I'll say, is this ready to be published? It says, no, not even close. I said, okay, don't try to fix the whole thing at once. Give me the 3 things that you think it needs to be fixed and explicitly how you want to change it. And I do it 3 at a time. You do it 18 at a time, it just doesn't go anywhere. Then I also say, give me the percentage of where it is. So it knows where it's going, and keep going until it says it's 100%. Then I post it. Then I take the same thing, I put it back into ChatGPT, and I'll say, give me a LinkedIn article, plus or minus 800 words, plus or minus 100 words. And it does. And then I go through the same process again. And then when it's done, I give it to my assistants to post that. But before that, I have to tell it, what's the hook? I take that 1,000 ideas for a hook, and I'll say, okay, give me a hook that'll actually get people to do things. And then I'm working on the call to action with my web guy. That's where I'm still a little soft. But I've gotten the impressions up by 10 times, and now I'm getting the hook. So it's a work in progress.
Yeah.
But that's how I use both of them. And yes, I'm spending $200 a month on ChatGPT. I'm spending $100 a month on Anthropic. People are like, $300 a month for AI? And I'm like, yes. but I work 7 days a week, and that's like $10 a day. And it gives me something that, I mean, to hire an assistant to do this, you're looking at 80 grand a year.
Yeah.
And I don't think they could keep up with,
And,
I'm doing
and
more
you,
with this than what an assistant could do.
plus, this one is on demand. You wake up in the middle of the night and you're like, yeah, ChatGPT, I need this answer. Versus an assistant, you're like, I have to wait for maybe 7, 8 hours before the assistant, resume work and stuff like that.
Well, and I have 2 assistants, but they're overseas. And I can work with them in the middle of the night because that's their daytime.
Yeah.
So it just gives you an example. Okay. That's how you'd go ahead and solve it. That's some ideas to get you started. If you want to know more about that or more about the 1,000 ideas, I think that's what it is for the hook. Just go to dyslexiaclasses.com. That's dyslexia classes with an S, dyslexiaclasses.com. There's a button there that says download free guide. It's for parents of dyslexic students. It doesn't really matter. Just click on, fill out a few pieces of information, then go and actually go to Zoom and set up a time to speak with me. And so it's a half an hour of free time. We can discuss anything you want.
Okay. I don't know if you could send me the link via ChatGPT. What am I saying? Via Podmatch. So while I publish the episode, I will just put the link in the description. So both me and the listeners get access to the link and can just click and go directly to the site. Does that make sense? Or is it just for me?
Yeah, it's literally just dyslexiaclasses.com. And there's a button right there that says download free guide. Just click on that and fill out the form.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. I'm really quiet in this episode. I feel like I should be doing more of this episode. This is what we call Masterclass. This is not an interview. This is a Masterclass. Thank you so much.
Well, see, here's the thing. What I did is I really require you to think. Yeah. But just so you know, this is what I commonly do with 9 and 10-year-old children. This is what I do to teach dyslexics to read. Here's this weird idea. I really don't teach reading typically. I teach the kids to write and to make sure they spell the words correctly. And here's the little secret. If you can write a word, you can read it.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes the word familiar.
Yeah. So it's that simple. That'll get you started.
Oh, thank you so much. Russell. If once again, where can listeners learn more, dive deeper, get access to the 1,000 hook ideas and the 1,000 CTA? Could you repeat?
Yeah, it's real simple. Yeah, just go to Dyslexia Classes, plural with an S, dyslexiaclasses.com, hit download free guide. If the 3 reasons your child's having trouble in school due to dyslexia isn't for you, just fill out the form, tell me what your issue is, and we can spend a half an hour discussing whatever. All right. And just so people know, I am in a very niche area. I'm a dyslexic researcher. Yet on Podmatch with 4,800 guests, I'm number 1 last month and this month. Why? Because what I do applies to just about everything. I've done things from wine tasting to how to remember evolved words to one podcast. She's a medical doctor, and she said, how can we, when you leave a hospital, these instructions are horrible. I have to take a picture with my phone, give it to ChatGPT, and said, take this and put this into English for me. And I said, here's how what I use to teach dyslexics can help people do the instructions. Medical people give instructions for take home. That's a lot better. And she thought it was brilliant. So this goes to C-level business. This solves so many different problems. All right. So if you have a different problem, just let me know and I can walk you through the process. Why am I doing this? Because my state, New York, is looking to redo K-5 education. We're the highest tax state in the country. Sorry, California, we beat you. We spend more on these kids than anybody per kid on education. And they spend a whole year on a dyslexia task force to come up with a way of doing this. We can't afford it, and the teachers say it'll take them too long to learn. I'm working with a member of the New York State Dyslexia Task Force, Evelyn Whitebay. She's a very gifted teacher, and we can go in and show teachers how to take their kids from kindergarten to 5th grade for reading and writing, how to get them to give them the tools needed to pass that test. Okay, we can do it in under 3 hours. So how do I explain this? I go on every podcast that conceivably makes any sense, and I show a version of what I do. with the hopes that eventually this information will get back to the New York State Legislature so we can actually solve it.
Thank you so much, Russell. It's I have a lot to act on, and I love the fact that it got me to think, to actually realize that I'm the one stopping myself. There's literally nobody that's like saying, oh, you can't do this, or it's not like I need permission from anybody to do the work that I want to do. And I'm glad we got to have this conversation, and I know my listeners will also get value from it.
And if you want the more advanced version, I said that what I just gave you, this is what I teach 9 to 10-year-old children. We have much more advanced material once you get this down. That's at a much more evolved level. Yeah. I just focus on this because this is a good place to start.
Yeah, of course, yeah. And you mentioned that if listeners want to learn more and go to the next step, they can go to dyslexiaclassics.com, right?
Yeah, and just hit the button, download free guide, and just fill it out. Here's what everybody makes a mistake. I actually need to go through and set up a Zoom appointment with me, okay? It doesn't cost anything. I'm here to talk to you about anything that you need for half an hour.
Okay. Wow, thank you so much, Russell. It's been an absolute delight chatting with you. Literally a delight.
Thanks for having
me. I've gotten clarity. And thanks for tuning into Wisdom Journey. I hope today's episode gave you practical steps and fresh ideas to keep moving forward. If you found value, be sure to subscribe and share this podcast with a fellow creator or entrepreneur who'd love to learn too. And don't forget to sign up for the newsletter and the link in the description for more resources, experiments, and lessons straight to your inbox. Until next time, keep building, keep learning, and keep walking your own wisdom journey. Yeah.